Okay, continuing from the last subject, basically saying God cannot use the person if a person does not possess the quality and the characteristic of love. Okay, we're going to go over to Proverbs chapter 29, verse 7. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 7 states that the righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. Okay, this is a very powerful warning given by Solomon, being moved by the Spirit of God to say this. This is actually a very dangerous verse for a lot of Christians who are in the church today. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. Okay. I'll give you a clear example of what Solomon is saying here. The first thing that comes from a person's mouth is that, look at that person. That person's poor. That person, whatever he did in his life, he's that way because he didn't work hard. He's that way because he didn't go far in school. He's that way because he gave up on life. All those people who say those things and, have not the knowledge to regard the cause of the poor, as it says here in the scriptures, that person is in danger of hellfire. That person is in danger of the condemnation of God, because number one, I say that because that person who is saying that, number one, believes that he or she is saved. That person believes that he or she is doing the will and the ordinance of God. That person is active in the church. That person is maybe a deacon or a pastor or an official in the church. A person holds a high position in the church, but yet those words can spew from that person's mouth. How does a person hold such a high office in the church, but yet can say such a thing, not out verbally, physically, but in his heart, say that? Oh, get away from me, don't touch me. Oh, the person stinks. Oh, the person's nasty. Smells like piss. Oh, you see that? Tell your kids, you're training your kids like this. Look, see that? You don't want to be like that. He's that way because he gave up on life. He's not trying too hard. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. Now, if a person who is in the church and they hold a position in the church and they're saying such a thing, this person is obviously, in their own eyes, in the eyes of others who are also deceived, they say that this person is a saved person. This person is a saved person. But if this person is saved, but yet this person is saying a comment that only a wicked person can say, because Solomon says, but the wicked regard it not to know it. Okay? Doesn't even give the situation a second glimpse. Just because that person is wicked, the wicked regard it not to know it. But God is saying that this person is wicked, but this person holds a high position in the church. Now, it's a very dangerous verse, because if a person is wicked, but yet he's proclaiming that he's righteous, then what does a righteous man have to do with praying for this shortcoming that he has? Because a righteous man in his mind doesn't believe that he's a wicked man. Because a righteous man in his mind believes that he's following the will of God. But yet he can slip up and say something that only a wicked person can say, and says, but the wicked regarded. That word wicked, any word that has the word wicked, or any sentence that has the word wicked in it, the end is always destruction for that person. The end is always hellfire for that person. You cannot be wicked and enter into the gates of heaven. So if a person who is in the church who claims to be a righteous person, but yet has the audacity and the courage to say something bold and senseless as, oh, look at that person. I don't help those type of people. We don't mess with those people. That person's a wicked man. I'll say it again. A righteous person who believes that he is saved doesn't know that he has a wicked tendency about him, that he has inwardly wickedness. It's a very troubling verse for the church today, because a lot of people in the church are like this. I don't even have the hands or the toes. I can't even use other people's hands and toes to count how many people in the church today are like this. Okay? The righteous considereth the cause of the poor. The righteous takes time to see, wow, how did this person get here? But it doesn't even matter how this person got here. This is the work of Jesus Christ. This is the work of God. I'm going to put forth my best effort to try to get to the bottom of this, and to see what I can do for this person. Anything. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor. Okay. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 31. Says here, he that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoreth him hath mercy on the poor. I'll say it again. He that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoreth him hath mercy on the poor. Okay? So when we say things like that, when we disregard a person's situation and we look at a person with disdain and disgust, we are dishonoring God. So you cannot honor God and dishonor him by your actions, by your thoughts, by your deeds, by what you don't do. Okay, you can actually dishonor God by actually not performing a task that you are required to perform. So you dishonor God by saying to yourself, look at that person. I'm not going to help that person. So a person who claims to be saved, you cannot be saved and yet dishonor God by your actions. So here again it says in 14:31, he that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoreth him hath mercy on the poor. Okay? So those who honor God, those who do honor God, they do have mercy on the poor. Where's your mercy when you see a person laid out in the street or, begging for help? Where's your mercy? So a person who do honor the God, who actually do honors God, in his actions, you will see it, because it says he will have mercy on the poor. That will be the action of the person who is the believer. He would have that would be his immediate response would be to go and get to the bottom of the situation and see what he can do to help that poor person, that poor widow, or that fatherless child.